I'm Ode. That's Vicky. I'm me. You're you. We are we.
Oh my god, that was so corny.
The You, Me, We
goodness.
podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the You, Me, We podcast. I'm Ode.
I'm Vicky.
And we are back once again on Facebook. We didn't acknowledge a little milestone. We had, last week was episode 70.
Oh, okay.
That's a milestone. We got to 70 without killing each other. Well, I mean, thanks to you. Explain.
Who keeps this on schedule?
Do we stay on schedule? Not always.
Yeah, but I got us to 70.
Well, we got to episode 70 of the You, Me, We podcast. I want to put my glasses on because my eyes have been staring at a screen all day. Shout out to everybody who is remotely... What happened?
It just shut down on me.
Well, shout out to everybody who's working from home. I know for me, I have, like I said 2 episodes ago, I have to stare. Grab your laptop or your phone. I have to stare at the computer all day when I'm working from home, and my eyes get wonky. So I might want to throw my glasses on, or else you guys will see my eyes go a little cockeyed. But anyways, we're here.
Throw your glasses on.
Huh?
Nobody
No.
wants to see that.
Anyways, but we're here. Shout out to everybody who's joining us in the chat. For those of you who are listening afterwards on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Podcasts, we're here. So, Vicky, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you mentioned that there was for those of you who follow us on Instagram at You, Me, We podcast, Vicky was sharing a bunch of stuff on Instagram. So, Vicky, what has been going on at the You, Me, We podcast Instagram?
Okay. So I usually just post random questions that come to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking how many of the single people, like how much did the quarantine reprioritize, like what they find in other people, or what they will be looking for in people that they would like to settle down with.
Single people.
Well, yeah.
So has the quarantine kind of changed your
Priorities and what you see in the...
or what you're looking for?
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. And what were the responses?
66% said yes, that they did. It did change a lot of things. I know some people said that they're more concerned with how people are saving their money.
Because they're realizing, yo, if I'm broke now, I'm going to need somebody that could save their money better.
No, or they're probably like, I'm really good with money and I
Yeah.
don't want to be with somebody. And while that's probably something that they overlooked, I think this is something that they're going to start prioritizing. And then I asked for the people that are not single, how many of them have been having more issues because of the quarantine. And I think some people thought I meant like how many of you are beefing, like fighting all the time, when it could just be like
Not us.
disagreements. You gonna start?
Everyone, we talk about it on the podcast. I'm not starting. It was a joke. We talked about it last week, which remind me to follow up on something about last week. For those of you who tuned in, I have a whopper of a follow up.
So 89% said no, that they are not having more issues than usual because of the quarantine. I don't believe that.
Why not? Maybe some people are genuinely getting closer because of the quarantine, or because they're realizing, hey, we probably never used to spend this much time together, or
yeah, that's true.
We probably in the past, because we had access to outside.
I just don't think that it's 89%.
You don't want to be optimistic?
I just think that people are considering issues like big issues, as opposed to like, yo, we're gonna have to talk about this again because you're doing things.
I want to believe it probably is, because I think a lot of people are realizing now that when outside was open, we probably didn't take advantage of like our creativity when it comes to ideas of stuff to do in-house. People are probably cooking together and watching TV shows or now one party isn't skipping ahead of the Netflix show because now they can actually watch it together not come home and find out that somebody's 10 episodes ahead, even though you and I still kind of have our own shows that we watch. Mm-hmm. And we'll tell each other about it like later on, but never say, hey, let's watch this new show together. Which everyone keeps telling me to start Ozark. And I know you started Ozark.
That shit is whack.
Everybody's like, anyways, go ahead.
For everyone, has the quarantine changed some priorities for you moving forward in any area of your life? And 88% said no. So I should have asked the 12%, like, what is this not changing for you? Because how does quarantine not make you go like, hold up, some things need to change in my life?
What has it changed for you? One or two things that you want to change, like, in your life.
I would say that it changed my sense of urgency.
Your sense of urgency.
In certain things.
Expound on that. Is that the right word?
So, like, my sense of urgency in wanting to declutter, like, I felt like that was just something that I could do slowly. And being quarantined has placed that as, like, a top priority, because now I really am, like, always feeling the pressure of knowing that I probably won't feel this if these things are not here. So, and then, like, the things that I thought were important, I'm like, that's not really that important. So it changed for me, the sense of urgency. I approached some things over other things that probably were vice versa before.
I think, for those of you who know me, I on the side, I DJ'd and do stuff on the side, media type related stuff. It definitely made me, and I quote unquote retired last year. The quarantine did kind of make me, like, I don't know what's the word. No, I love my job. I'm totally cool with my job. I'm keeping my job. I'm not leaving my job. But it definitely made me think of, like, it definitely made me think of people or myself and, like, the things I'm passionate about. I like my job, but things I'm passionate about, and just how much time and energy I know I consciously dedicate to them, to those things. And it really made me think about that, because it's given me and my friends, Donald and Charles, who we're like accountability brothers. So we hold each other accountable for, like, some of the stuff that we do, whether or not we're following our passion. And we've been talking more and more because, well, we have time. And we made it, and I'm realizing that we've all been, like, talking about that whole thing of, like, taking advantage of the time to dive into those passions, and how much we were doing that before, or how much we weren't doing that before. And again, I totally understand. Not everyone is approaching the quarantine that way. Some can't, some can. Some have that the liberty to do that. People have different circumstances. I'm just saying, for those who are considering their passion, I realize for me, I'm looking differently at, like, the things I am passionate about, and how much time I used to give to them, and just make it more of a goal for them for the future. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what's changed for me, I would say.
Okay. So for some people, they said prioritizing my quality time with my spouse, spending time with my family, the amount of time in the future I want to spend with my child. Friend circles were reevaluated, their outlook on the opposite sex. Their plan around health and wealth. A lot of people said, like, putting their health a priority, the importance of sticking to a budget and why it's non-negotiable times like this, heighten that.
My concern is that everyone's approach, or not everyone, some people's approach to things like that, their health and their wealth, time with their family, different stuff, dedicating time to their passion. We're going to fall into the New Year's resolution kind of vicious cycle that a lot of us fall into, where now we're saying all this the first couple weeks, first couple months, soon as outside opens up, soon as it's safe to go back outside and go back to normal, we all just fall right back into it.
I think some people do, and most people don't. I think most people do and some people don't. Like, I think the wake-up call is an actual wake-up call and not just a temporary, because it's in the season kind of wake-up call.
What do you think will win out? People will stick to it, or it'll be like a New Year's resolution type thing, and once outside opens up, we're back to...
I think most people won't stick to it, and that's because people don't know how to set smart goals.
As in like SMART.
Yeah,
like
they really
the actual like
yeah, and they really don't.
message.
And I'm saying this because for the past 30 days, I was tracking 9 people and their goals.
Stalker much?
No, I was
joking,
like
I'm
an
joking.
accountability partner, and I was tracking 9 people, and not one person, including myself, I was one of the 9 people. Not one person did their goals for even half the month.
So why did y'all
Met every goal half the month.
So why did y'all fail?
So then I started to analyze, like, yo, what's wrong here? Like, what's different? Because I want to do it again for the month of May. I already have a group of girls. And it was open to anyone, but it was mainly girls, which that says a lot. So
Vicky said it, not me.
no, I meant as in trying to make improvements in their life. That says a lot that it was just women.
Oh,
okay, so anyways.
But you failed.
Huh?
You just said y'all failed at attempting it. Maybe the men were just like, I'm gonna just go do it. I don't need to join your group. I'm gonna just do it. When I fail, nobody gotta know about it.
And that's why there's a lot more women graduating colleges, and there's a lot more women supersede like passing men in a lot of things because they just push forward. Like they're always trying to reinvent themselves, and they're always trying to be better, do better, have better. Like I think like this speaks well into those statistics.
Well, if you're already the best, why you got to do better? If you already invented yourself and you're happy with who you are and you're perfect, why you got to reinvent?
Because you're not. Anyways, so not one of us met our goals 100. What I was saying was not one of us met our goals 100% of the time.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of it, one is human nature. You're not going to always achieve everything 100% all the time.
Men know
like that is false as hell. And then another thing was that from what I noticed was a lot of the goals were not SMART goals, like all the way through.
Were any of them just like, when you look at them, you're like,
there were
like sis, calm down.
Some were way too generic, like way too generic, like left a lot of room for error.
Such as? Or you don't want to snitch on people's?
Let me see. I'll use myself as an example. I put a perfect example. So when I was prioritizing my goals for May, I was like, I want to do yoga every day, right? I could do yoga every day. That's like 30 minutes. I enjoy it. I'm gonna do it every day. Then I went and looked back at the month of April and how I did with yoga.
How'd you do?
In 4 weeks, I didn't do it not once every day. So I'm like, maybe that's not realistic because I'm not going to do it every day. In 30 days, I didn't do it every day for a whole week. Out of 4 weeks, no weeks did I do it 7 times in a week.
What stopped you? If you could recall, like what were the
just
factors?
Losing focus, not paying attention to wanting to meet that goal, just letting everything else, just not being focused. It's just a loss of focus.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, let me be a little more realistic, and I think I should put my goals to maybe like 5 times a week, instead of 7 times a week, 7 days a week.
Could it have been the poses that were like?
I know some of those poses
super
are
advanced.
Out of control. And so I think that is a reason why people are not achieving those New Year's resolutions or their quarantine resolutions, as you would call it.
Is that a thing? Is that like
that could be a thing. I just think people don't
resolutions.
meet goals because they don't realize that although it seems very simple, they're not honest with themselves and how much full of shit they are, and they're not honest with their goals. Like their goals, they use their goal, like they list 5 goals, right? And not realizing that each goal is just an ultimate goal. And like, yo, you don't even work out, so why are you putting down that you're gonna work out 5 times a week?
Because that's a goal.
That's a goal, but that's my thing. That's not realistic. You already don't work out. You have to build to that. That's the big goal. I want to build to the point where I'm working out 5 times
triggered.
a week. But that's what I'm saying. Like people don't have they don't set realistic goals, and that's true to anyone. Like, so this time around in May, a lot of people, not a lot of people, each person that gave me goals, I went down the list with them. I'm like, all right, You said that you were going to do ABC. In the past, how many times have you actually done this? Have you never done this? Okay, so then we need to scale it back because you're not going to wake up on Friday and be like, I'm going to do this now every day for the next 30 days. It does not work like that. It just doesn't work like that.
What if you just kept somebody from like challenging themselves?
But the challenge, but it doesn't, no, because you're not, that's the thing. Like, people think that because if they have to scale it back that they're not working towards that goal. That's not true. You're scaling it back so that you can create, so pretty much this is how I explained it to one of the girls doing it with me. I'm like, listen, when you scale back a goal, it doesn't mean that you're not working at that goal. It means that you're working towards that goal. So you need to, it's like stairs. Like, you need to take the first step so you can take the second step so you can get closer to that big goal. You can't, like, you just don't go straight to the top. You have to go through each level. So you have to scale it all the way back so that your brain makes that connection that what I say I'm going to do and I can do it. So that way when you set bigger goals, you don't have that subconscious doubt in yourself. You already know, like, yo, when I say I'm going to do it because that's what I did in the past and I got it done always. And so you make room for you to be able to take on bigger goals to get you closer to that one. It's not like, if I don't put that, I'm not going to work out 5 times a week, then that's it. I'm not going to meet my goal. Like, okay, so you just can't put down that you're going to work out 2 times a week. And then the next week after that, do 3 times a week and then Failures. 4 times a week. Like, you build up to it. And I think people don't do that. People don't build up to their goals and then they wonder why they don't look. And then they wonder why they don't, why they can't make it. Yeah, see? Perfect example, gym memberships. January and February packed, March 50%. It's true. And that's why, because people don't set realistic goals. And so...
Bro, it's New Year. I'm going to the gym every day.
Every day. I'm going to go to the gym 6 times a day. And I'm going to be there for like an hour and a half. Maybe you'll do that the first 2 days.
That's why I just
and
don't go.
And then your body feels that and your body's like, yo, what are you doing?
Fam. We ain't been here in years.
Yeah, like setting this goal and not working up to it and running into it as opposed to building slowly. You'll get to the big goal quicker if you just go slower than if you speed into it and crash and fail and fall right back to the bottom.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. May's gonna be looking good. So anyways, another question that I asked was if we should push back our wedding. Kalau.
Go ahead.
If we should push back our wedding, because our wedding's at the end of June.
And the majority, drum roll please.
Oh yeah, the majority said that we should. Some people were like, oh, just have a friend marry you and then have the ceremony after. But we're not interested in doing that.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
78% said push it back.
And thanks to popular demand, we have decided to.
Ode's lying to y'all. No, we are pushing it back. Yeah. And I definitely did not tell a lot of people that we are. So if you're hearing this for the first time, then that means we are. And now you just heard it.
And luckily, I was late on a few, like a handful of invitations. So it's not that you weren't going to get one. It's just that I didn't send it yet. And luckily, didn't waste the postage.
Still send it. That way, they have the information they need because then we need them to do some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are postponing it because Rona out here just killing everybody.
Yeah,
stuff.
And to be honest, even
like killing all the plans,
and we can
all
see
the fun.
We can see like with some other states that the country is starting to slowly, gradually open back up. Some states have phases. But even if Jersey and the tri-state area opened up tomorrow, let's be honest, a lot of us, most of us, I'm hoping all of us, ain't going out until like a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
So even if the tri-state opened back up in June, like early June, late May.
Just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, we just don't feel comfortable. There's several... We care about all of our family and friends.
Yeah.
But we do have some in that category that we are being a little bit more cautious of because of their age, because of their immune system might already be compromised. Our son, if you heard our past episodes, he has a rare
Disease.
Disorder?
It's called disease.
Sounds, yeah. He has. It sounds like.
I don't know why I don't know why it's called disease, but it's called rare disease.
I know he has a rare disease.
He has a rare endocrine.
Yeah.
Condition.
So his immune system is already compromised, and we would.
I don't think his immune system is compromised, but I think that the other parts of the body need the immune system to be 100% is compromised. It's not his immune system. I follow one of the boards on Facebook, and they said it's not. It's not in his immune system. Sounds like his immune system. It's other things that contribute to the immune system, but it's not the immune system itself.
He's compromised when it comes to getting sick.
Anyway, yes. Just not the immune
and also,
system.
too, just the aesthetics. You know what? I know some people are probably getting creative right now with incorporating like masks and stuff into their wedding, whatever they're going to have.
Nope.
We just don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want my kid wearing a mask. I don't want pictures of people in a mask. It's creepy. It's weird. I find it creepy and weird. I don't want it. So whatever.
Yeah, I don't want people showing up, you know, with a mask that matches their dress or a mask that matches.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's weird.
And one thing we were saying, one of our options was for anybody in here that's Guyanese, one of our options was that if the tri-state opens up soon and it's quote unquote safe to go out, we'll still have the ceremony, which is going to be outdoors, and the reception, and we would probably consider canceling our kwekwe, which was going to be the night before. Our kwekwe for Guyanese people, it's like a night before the two families get together, we sing folk songs, music, dancing, and all kind of stuff. But that was going to be indoors, so we were probably going to cancel that. Which I don't want to cancel any aspect of it. And a lot of our friends, our non-Guyanese friends, and your family wanted to see that and wanted to be a part of that. So I would hate to have to cancel any aspect of our wedding shenanigans. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I haven't done shit for this wedding. The same thing I did, I don't know, in like January, is the same thing that has been done now that we're entering May. I ain't done shit.
Ask me what I'm wearing.
Y'all lucky y'all got invitations. The only reason you got invitations is because people was pressing me. They were pressing me for invitations. I did them. They're done. You're not getting new ones. That's why you need the old ones. Get the old ones. We'll fix it somehow. You're not getting new ones, physical new ones. I haven't done anything. And you know what? Now I could just relax. I
have an idea of what me and my two best men were going to wear.
I legit have not done anything. And I think my bridesmaids, only my sister bought a dress. And that's because I randomly found one and she really liked it. And I was like, oh, that looks great.
And in no way is this us not realizing how serious this is or realizing how much time we have left. No, that was our approach. The foundation, what's the word? The driving force, the mantra for us and this wedding, the planning of it, the approach to it was there are no rules. Nowhere in the Bible, nowhere in legal documents does it say you have to stress. You have to panic. You have to rush. We were taking it very easy.
Let me tell you, I was so chill about it that somebody messaged me like, yo, what are you going to do? And I told them like, oh, yeah, we're going to postpone. They're like, oh, well, this is like such a great time. Like now you could save a little more and maybe you could invite like a little bit of more people. And I was like,
excuse me.
Oh, shit. I'm like, yo, can I be honest with you? My plan was just like, oh, shit, now I got time to delay it even more. I wasn't going to do a damn thing.
Trying to change.
I wasn't going to do anything for this wedding. Like, we ain't having it? Okay, so then I'm going to just sit back.
So can we recap last week real quick? So last week, right? Sure. So last week, not a recap. The main thing that came out of last week that's relevant to what I have to say is, for those who were here, Vicky was very animate about that word. I always get confused with that word. Animate.
I'm not helping you. This is you talking.
Vicky was very,
hey,
animate about Ode. You don't know me.
Sorry for the noise.
Can you take it from him? Vicky was very animate about Ode. You don't know me. You don't know what I like to eat. Blah blah blah. Charlie Brown. Wah 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 wah. So later on, I think later on that day we had a talk. Same conversation, and the next day I believe Vicky wanted to play we have a bunch of like games, card games, dominoes, different stuff, board games. Vicky wanted to play. I think the name of the game was Do You Know Me, right?
Yes.
And in Do You Know Me, you ask each other. I think like you put out five questions, and Vicky would ask, or how's it work? It's like a yes or no to certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and you're pretty much guessing yes or no whether or not this thing applies to your partner, and then you get points, and whoever has the most right answers at the end wins. That means that person knows the other better. By show of hands, who do you guys think won? Do you think Vicky won Do You Know Me? Or do you think Ode, a.k.a. You Don't Know Me Ode, Huppy, won Vicky's choice of game for the night titled Do You Know Me? Vicky, who won? Vicky, who won the game? Is the mic not working? Can I want to switch mics? Is yours not working? Is cat got in your tongue? Let's go to our cards. One card each. For those of you who are first-time listeners, we are playing a game called The And. This is not an ad. This is just a card game for couples that we like to play. It's where you pick a card. The cards contain nice conversation starters. You pick a card and you ask your partner that question. And we're going to keep saying it until they reach out to us and make it an ad. I'm kidding. So, Vicky, pick your card. I actually saw one that I liked, but I'm not going to end up with it. When do you feel closest to me? Figuratively.
What's wrong with you?
For the immature people in the chat.
I would have to say...
Don't keep the people waiting. So many to choose from, right? I know. Ow.
When you have casual conversations with me that you start.
Okay. What is your question? Dum dum dum.
What do you think you missed out while being in this relationship?
Girl! Now you stop. What do I think I missed out on? Thank you, sir. My son just gave me some amazing artwork. What do I think I missed out on?
He wants it back. He needs to
my
finish.
bad. There you go.
Yeah.
Finish it. I would think I missed out on. Honestly, I would just say it's those times. I think anyone in a relationship, and I'm going to say you're lying if you say you haven't. This hasn't crossed your mind sometimes. Those times when, and this isn't not about dating other people, nothing like that. But those times when you kind of think back, you think back to those times when not in a relationship, that extra. Okay, I gotta give a scenario to better explain it.
Yo, you are trying to find the really nice way to say
no,
something.
No. I'm trying to explain it better. It's like me. Sometimes I want to be in my studio. Sometimes to just dive into some project I'm working on, but it's not that easy because I have a family, I have a relationship, a partner that I'm with. But there were those times when I was single, when I used to live by myself in Garfield, and I was single and I wasn't dating anybody. I would spend like 24 hours sometimes working on projects, and because you didn't have that extra piece to like consider, think about, factor into what you're doing. So I would say there were times when I felt like I was missing out on like the ability to just go back to those times when I could just like zone out for something for 24 hours. But, I think everyone has those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do.
It's like that meme. It's like the parents now. It's like parents now who are thinking about their friends who are in relationships but don't have kids during the quarantine. That's two different things.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my
So
answer to the
jealous.
question.
Okay, that was a good answer.
All right. Thank you,
Not a
everyone.
problematic answer.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the You, Me, We podcast. And this is episode 71. Look at us in the 70s.
Thank you, Vicky.
Are we going to get to do our live, in-person live episode 100, you think?
No.
Yeah. We shall see. This has been the You, Me, We podcast.